Hey everybody, welcome back to Living Traditions Homestead. Well, it's summer, the garden is in full production, and for me, that means one thing: fried okra. I absolutely love fried okra. We don't eat a lot of fried things around the homestead because we try to be a little bit healthy, but in the summer, fried okra is one of those things I just can't live without.
You guys, I know you're gonna hate me when I tell you this, but I don't like fried okra. I don't even really like okra at all. The consistency is just too much for me. The flavor is good, but if you don't like okra, you know what I'm talking about. But there are things in the garden right now that I absolutely love breaded and fried, and you can probably guess it. It's peppers. So today we're going to show you a couple things that we've been working on in the house. Some breaded and fried things that just are a little bit healthier. We want to live a better life, a healthier life, and we think we have found a really great solution.
So we're gonna get picking in the garden. We're gonna get all of the veggies that we need to take inside and fry, and we're gonna show you how we do it. So this year we're growing two varieties of okra. My absolute favorite type of okra is called Clemson Spineless. It's a pretty common variety. The other kind that we're growing this year are these right here, which are much shorter and fatter than the Clemson Spineless. These are called Eagle Pass. They're an heirloom from Baker Creek, and the selling point on these is that they're supposed to be less slimy than the Clemson Spineless. Sarah has a real problem with the sliminess of okra, so I'm hoping that these will be the key to making her like okra. So I'm going to pick about 4 of these, and then we'll go down and pick 4 of my favorite. Now these are the Clemson Spineless. They're much longer and skinnier, but they are absolutely great. These are my favorite type of okra to grow. So I'm going to pick a few of those as well.
Now for some peppers. I'm going to pick some jalapenos, which are jalapenos that aren't spicy. I have been doing a lot of spicy peppers every day for a couple of weeks, so I feel like I need a break. So I'm going to pick some of these, and then also the kids can try them. I'll pick a few of these jalapenos, and then I'll also pick some banana peppers, which are right next door here. We're having a fantastic pepper year this year. All of them are doing so great. I think that will be plenty of fried food. Let's go get started in the house.
All right, we're in the house. It's time to show you guys what we've been working on. Now, if you've been following our channel for any amount of time, you know that we don't normally do product reviews or gadget type reviews on our channel. That's just not something we've ever really gotten into doing.
We've done a couple.
We've done a couple, but only if they're products that we really feel are a benefit to our homestead.
Right. But recently, Kevin's mom bought an air fryer, and she's been calling us and telling us that we need to get an air fryer. And you know, I just don't want another thing on the counter in the kitchen. I'm not really into super gadgety types of things, so I wasn't sold. But then we got an email.
Right, so we got an email from a company who makes air fryers. It was kind of the perfect timing, and so they offered to send us an air fryer to try, and so we told them that we would try it only because I was hoping it would get my mom off my back. It also just happened to be perfect timing because, like I said, out in the garden, this is really the only time of year we eat fried food here on the homestead. So about 2 weeks ago, we told this company to send us the air fryer to try. Now, I spent a lot of time in sales. I'm kind of good at negotiating with people, so I told them we would only be willing to try one if they gave a discount to you guys and if they would supply us with one to give away as a freebie to one of you as a contest. And they agreed to do both. So they sent us the air fryer about 2 weeks ago, and we've been playing around with it ever since. The air fryer that we're testing out is called Pinsoon. It's a 10-quart air fryer, and like I said, we've had it for about 2 weeks now, and we actually fell in love with it. It does such a great job. Today we're going to show you what we have figured out to make this thing work.
Now I want to talk with you a little bit, just real quickly, about how we're actually using this air fryer differently than I think most people do when they get an air fryer. These air fryers will fry things from the grocery store in the frozen section, like tater tots, chicken nuggets, french fries, those kinds of things that you buy from the grocery store, and you throw them in the air fryer and they make them taste amazing. Well, we don't cook like that. We don't buy anything from the freezer section at the grocery store.
No.
So we wanted to find a way to make this work for us. When we use our deep fryer, the few times a year that we do, we always, go through the breading process, and everything we do in that way is homemade. So we wanted to see if these air fryers would work on things that are breaded and fried at home.
Right. Yeah, it's one thing to be able to dump a bag of chicken nuggets in it and have it cook it. I have no doubt that it's capable of doing that. But like Sarah said, can you take homegrown food and actually make it work for that as well? That's what we've been playing around with, and we figured out how to do it, and we're so happy to share it with you guys. So let's get started chopping up all of these vegetables, and I'll show you how I figured out the best way to put breading on these for the air fryer. So when we first started making the majority of our food homemade, we wanted to learn how to bread items, how to put breadcrumbs on things and actually make them stick. We wanted to make our own chicken nuggets. We wanted to make our own, vegetables and things like that that had breading on them. But we always had a problem with the breading just falling off. So after years of trial and error, I finally figured out a way to make it stick on the vegetables, and I'm going to share that with you today. It's nothing big. There's no huge secret to it. Let me show you what we do. We're going to use some organic all-purpose flour, and I'm just going to put some right on top of the veggies. A pretty good amount. Then I'm going to just use my hands to mix all of the vegetables around to make sure that they're well coated in the flour. The reason that most breadcrumbs and other things don't stick to vegetables very well, especially okra, is because the vegetables are too wet. There's too much moisture in them. So the key to making things stick is to make sure that they're very, very dry when you go to put your breadcrumbs on. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave these in here with this flour for just about a minute or two. Then I'm going to add a little more flour and do this again. Then I'm going to transfer them to a cookie sheet, and we're going to let them sit with the flour on them for at least 10 minutes, maybe a little more, before we start breading them. I'll show you that step when we get to that. All right, I'm going to let these sit for a minute, and then we'll add more flour. All right, just a little bit more flour. Stir them around again. And now we'll transfer them to a cookie sheet. Now the peppers, the flour is only going to really stick to the inside of the peppers. Where the skin is, there's not going to be a lot of flour sticking, but that's okay. It seems to still work out good in the end. So we're going to just let these sit here on the cookie sheet for 10 minutes, and then we'll get ready to bread them. So what we're using is 3 eggs with what I like to call a glug of milk, or just, a tiny bit of milk out of the jug. Whisk that together to make it a little bit thinner.
And then we're going to use breadcrumbs with salt. About 1 teaspoon of salt per cup of breadcrumbs. That's what we're going to be using next after the eggs.
Why are we adding salt to the breadcrumbs?
because we're not using oil to fry these in. So when they come out of the air fryer, there's no oil on them for the salt to stick. So it just like bounces right off.
Right.
So we added the salt to the breadcrumbs and that fixed the problem.
Right. Okay, so we found that out from trial and error, because that's the good part about taking things out of a deep fryer is they're so nice and greasy that there's something for the salt to stick to, but this didn't happen in this case. But this made it so much better. All right, so I'm going to start by just putting some of the vegetables into the egg, mix them around until they're coated, and then I'll transfer them over to the breadcrumbs. Now you do want to get some of the loose flour off if you can. So I like to put them into the egg with my hands. And then we'll just mix them around with a slotted spoon until you can see that all of the vegetables are covered in egg. And then kind of take them out. I like to use a slotted spoon because you want as much of that egg to drain back off as you can. Then we'll put them into the breadcrumbs.
And we're going to toss these around and make sure that they're all evenly coated with the breadcrumbs before we take them out and put them on the next cookie sheet.
Now if you need more egg or more breadcrumbs as you go, just add some.
And wing it with the salt.
Right. We don't like to waste ingredients, so we do a little bit at a time and add as we need to. This is also good exercise for working together.
It's called marital bliss. So they're all breaded. We're going to start loading up this basket. Now this basket can hold everything that we've just breaded in different layers. I'm going to put one layer on the bottom, kind of a single layer, and then I'm going to spray it with just a little bit of spray oil. Now we have one of those pump sprayers, but it just broke. So we found some spray coconut oil that we're going to be using. Okay, so I have one single layer, and I'm going to spray just a light layer of this oil onto the veggies. This will make them nice and golden brown and still give a little bit of the flavor of the fat that you taste in fried food. Okay, I'm going to put the rest of these, I think, in one other layer. One thing you'll find with using these air fryers is that it takes a little bit more time than if you were just going to put one batch in a deep fryer. But in a deep fryer, generally you can't fry this amount of food all at once. So I think in the end, it works itself out. Okay, let's get the fryer ready.
Okay, so here is the air fryer. This is actually a pretty nice size air fryer, but it doesn't take up a whole lot of room on the counter, which is nice. It opens up just like this. But right now what we're going to do is we're going to turn it on. And we have found for things like veggies, the French fry setting actually works really well, except we don't use the full amount of time. So I turn it on. So I'm going to hit the French fry setting, which is going to put it on 400 degrees. We're going to hit the power button again, which will actually get it heating up. And then we're going to put the basket of veggies inside. To put the basket in, we put one of the shelves down here on the bottom, and then the basket goes right on top. This handle comes out, and we close it up, and it's starting to fry. Now what we like to do is we let it run for 5 minutes at 400 degrees. Then we take the basket out, we shake the vegetables around, we'll spray a little more of the spray oil on, and then put it back in for another 5 minutes. And usually that's just about right. If it needs just a few more minutes after that, we'll put it back in for just a couple more minutes. So while these vegetables are in frying, I want to show you just a couple of the other things that come with this when you buy it. I'll be honest, we haven't played around with all of them yet. Our main concern was trying to recreate deep frying the vegetables. But it comes with 3 of the shelves that go inside the unit. These can actually be used also to dehydrate things. This can be used as a dehydrator, which is really nice. It also comes with this basket, which opens up and you can put like French fries inside of here. And then it'll actually spin around inside the fryer to cook everything nice and evenly. Now the inside rod here comes out and you can add these little spears so that you can use it as a rotisserie as well. You guys have seen the chickens that we raise here on the homestead. They're too big for this, but if you had a little bit smaller chicken, it would be great. And I might actually try it for some quail. I think that would be good as well. So there's a lot of things that you can do with this. We haven't played around with all of them yet. Like I said, our main concern was just trying to deep fry some veggies from the garden.
It's been 5 minutes, so I'm going to open this and take them out and just shake them up a little bit. Reattach the handle to the basket. So I'm going to bring them over here to on top of this cookie sheet to shake them. The first time Kevin did it, he shook them over the floor and all of the breadcrumbs fell on the floor. That wasn't cool. So this is what we've come up with. So shake them around, flip them, and then we're going to spray them again with just a light coating of the cooking spray. We're going to put them back in. Take the handle off again and close it up, and it will resume. We're going to do this for another 5 minutes. I do want to mention to you guys that when Kevin told me about this opportunity to get this air fryer, I was completely against it. I am not a gadget girl. I don't want things on my counter. I feel like I can cook everything that we need with what we already have. Kevin's one of those guys who's like a late night TV, as seen on TV gadget kind of guy, and I am totally not. But he convinced me to try this, and I do think it's working out really well for us. A couple things that I don't like about deep frying that this kind of completely replaces is obviously the large volume of oil that we need to buy at the store. It's getting harder and harder for us to find affordable non-GMO type oils at the grocery store, especially in bulk. I buy groceries every 4 to 6 weeks, and when we need oil, I want to buy a big enough amount that'll last us a while, not a little bit here and there. I don't buy corn oil, canola oil, soybean oil. So we're looking for, you know, sunflower oil or something like that, and it's just harder and harder for me to find that at a reasonable price, and I'm not finding those things at Walmart at all anymore. But also the fryer itself, it's messy. We normally do all of our frying outside. It's hot outside. So this air fryer has kind of taken care of a lot of the mess and the hassle with all the oil and the deep fryer. So just a couple more minutes and we'll check on them again. They might even be done.
All right, it's been another 5 minutes. Let's check on them. I think they're just about done. You can see that they're nice and golden brown. I'm going to shake them around here one more time. I think I'm going to just put them back in for a couple more minutes. I'd say maybe 2 more minutes and I think they'll be done. This was a pretty big batch, so you kind of have to judge based on how many you're putting in at a time. Let's give them 2 more minutes. Alright, I think these are done. Let's check on them and take them out. I think those look perfect. We're going to go ahead and put them on a plate. Now I'll warn you that just like when you deep fry things, these are super hot when they come out. So you're going to want to let them rest for a little while before you eat them. Typically, I'm not very patient, so the first one I eat normally burns my mouth. But after that, they're pretty darn good. So there you go. Look how delicious those look. I think they look just as good as deep fried, but it really comes down to how they taste. So we're going to give them a try.
I'm going to start with banana pepper.
I'm gonna start with okra because okra are that's like what summer's all about.
That's good. And a jalapeno.
I really think that having the spray oil to put on them makes a big difference. When we tried them with no oil at all,
they were just a little dry.
Yeah, they were just lacking something. But with the spray oil, it makes a very big difference.
They needed a little fat, and that coconut oil spray did really well.
I need a little fat.
I'm sure any of the spray oils would do really well. I need more of that.
But the real key is going to be, let's see if this made Sarah like fried okra.
I'm nervous. Here's a nice crunchy one. Can I put some ranch on it?
Sure.
Ranch fixes everything.
I actually like barbecue sauce on them now. I know that's kind of weird.
Now the fried part is good. And like before, the flavor of okra is good. But I still don't like the sliminess. Well,
looks like I get all of the okra then.
I'll take all of the peppers.
No, she won't.
So what an awesome alternative to fried food. It still tastes amazing, and you can make these homemade from vegetables from your garden.
Right. Now I feel like I can have fried okra like every day.
Or twice a day.
At least twice a day, yeah.
Yeah.
And not feel as guilty as I did when I was deep frying it. So that's a bonus, because if any of you have ever grown okra, you know that once it starts to produce, it's like you're picking okra every single day.
You guys, don't forget that there is a discount code if you're interested in buying this through Amazon. That's where it will be available. We'll put the discount code for 15% off in the description box below, and we'll tag a comment as soon as we get up in the morning. We'll tag a comment that has that on there. 15% off, but also don't forget that we're giving one of these away. So one of these will be sent to the home of the winner. In order to qualify, what do they need to do?
You need to be, first of all, you need to be in the United States. It's going to ship from Amazon in the United States. You also need to leave a comment on this video, and then next Saturday we'll be picking a winner. The video will come out next Sunday announcing who the winner is.
So make sure to comment below to enter into our giveaway. You guys, I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope you enjoyed learning how to make some more healthy fried veggies from the garden. If you're not a subscriber yet and you enjoy what we're doing here, make sure you subscribe below and share this video so other people can be entered into the contest, and share our channel with people who are like-minded. And until next time, thank you so much for stopping by the homestead. Take care, and God bless.
God bless.